We move later in the second quarter. It is the third drive for Urbana. Actually, it is for Urbana. They come right back with an answer, however, and score to make it 21-21. But then your defense really seems to start to shine just a bit here in the second quarter.
This is what we're about right here, bringing a lot of pressure and got a lot of guys making plays. There's Zach Norman doing his job, and it looked like Wes Jackson doing his job, and a lot of guys bringing the heat, making them punt it, and here's Rashad on a punt return. And we were so close Saturday to scoring a bunch of times. We'll just get our people. We'll have the opportunity of moving the chains again.
Rashad Carter again, third in the conference in punt return averaging 9.3 yards per return, but some penalties. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the second half. Really negated some of his big returns. And then Brian Marshall up the middle for 20 yards. And I believe we're going to see Brian Marshall come out of the backfield once again here for another 30-yard reception.
This is a great call. Well, this isn't the one. I was thinking it was different. But Brian Marshall did a great job there, taking a little shovel pass and getting 20 yards for us and moving the chains. And Bo here hits Michael Rodriguez. And look at the protection. We're finally getting good protection, all except for number 20.
Yeah.
Good player, again, causing trouble for a lot of our players up front, but we found a way to regroup, and here's a bullet that Bo slides right in there, and feeling good about things, but still hadn't really scored the points we'd like to score. And Bo here makes a good decision and just doesn't make a very good throw. Rashad's got to come up with that one, and we send our very confident, and I'm very confident in kicker on the field, and Gareth just drills this one from 47. Probably could have made it from 60 the way he hit it, but we're going to have to win some ball games, or have some ball games that are going to have to be won with Gareth kicking it like he is. So very pleased with his efforts.
Again, it's from 47 yards, and put that angle in there because you never saw the football. It shows you just, I think, how strong and how solid that leg was. So 7 plays, 35 yards, 2:57 off the clock. All of a sudden, it is a 24-21 game. And the Pioneer defense, as I talked about, really gave Mendenhall some problems in the second quarter.
Got excited, started playing our game. There's David Little putting pressure on that guy, and Brian Alexander doing what he's supposed to do. And we fortunately hold them, make them punt it. And always a good thing when they got to punt the football. And Carl Scott coaches our punt block team, which we call attack. And we had a good plan in. I kept thinking we may score. And right here, if Rashad could get to the wall on the other side of the field, that's where we're trying to return it. And he decides to do it on his own and moves the chains for us as well.
The Pioneers would basically have a penalty. It was negated by an Urbana penalty as well, so you gain 5 yards out of it, but it negates a good return by Carter. Then Calvin Britt goes for 16 yards, and here's the play I was talking about with Marshall for 30 yards. Thought he would score here.
I thought he was going to score as well. Good decision by Bo. Good job by Brian Marshall hanging on the football, making the first guy miss. And good call by Mark Kolb, our offensive coordinator, who made a bunch of good calls on Saturday. And here's just a great throw, a great route. Calvin Britt gets in the end zone, touchdown Pioneers.
The Tusculum Pioneers, Calvin Britt, the senior, with that catch surpasses Jamichael Caldwell for first all-time in receiving touchdowns for a career. This will be number 20. It took a little while to develop, but good protection for the Pioneers as Calvin Britt catches his 3rd touchdown of the season right here in this first half, and it really gave the Pioneers some breathing room. 4 plays, 71 yards, just a minute 12 off the clock, and still 2 minutes to play in the first half, and Pioneers are going to at least hope to get the football back. They would, but they would be unable to move the football. So that would be how the first half would end, with the Pioneers leading this game 31-21. And Coach, you have to have a good feeling going into the locker room. You're up by 10 points.
Again, the game's not over, but we have played well enough on offense to put 31 on the board. We've given up 21 defensively. It hadn't really stopped them as much as we would want to or like to, but good feeling going into the game and excited about what we're able to do in the second half. I guess more so in the end of the second half as it ends like it does.
The Tusculum Pioneers lead Urbana at halftime by a score of 31-21. We're back with much more of the Frankie DeBusk Show right after this.
Greenville Federal Bank, proudly celebrating 50 years of service in Greenville and Greene County. Greenville Federal Bank is banking made easy. Visit online at greenvillefederalbank.com. The best deal in the neighborhood just got better with more to love on the 2 for $20 meal only at Applebee's. Applebee's is a proud sponsor of the Frankie DeBusk TV show and side of the Frankie DeBusk radio show. Applebee's on the bypass in Greenville. There's no place like the neighborhood. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day.
Coach, what makes a winning team?
A winning team is individuals that are working toward one common goal.
Coach, for over 30 years, Andrew Johnson Bank has been a winning team here in Greene County. It has always been our goal to provide superior service to our customers.
Andrew Johnson Bank will never quit providing extra effort to make loyal customers in the community.
Thank you, Coach DeBusk.
Thank you, Monica. Andrew Johnson Bank scores points with friendly customer service, top-notch bank products, and convenient locations. Tusculum College and Andrew Johnson Bank are a winning team.
Andrew Johnson Bank, a strong heritage, a stronger future. Home-owned and operated with locations in Greenville, Morristown, Jonesboro, Johnson City, and Cleveland.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton.
The Tusculum Pioneers build a 10-point lead at the half. As we start the third quarter, let's take a look at your third quarter highlights, brought to you by your Greenville Light and Power System.
Again, Brian, a 10-point lead. Felt good about it, but still was not very comfortable. We had a lot of football to play, and I knew they were going to come out and sort of attack us, and here we got to do a little better job in the secondary. Didn't turn them loose much on the day, but this is one time when we have got to be a little bit better alignment and assignment and bring it when we have to bring it. There's Mason Fowler coming out of the linebacker position to cause a problem. I'm not sure that was it got him on the ground, but our defensive linemen sure were running on the day. I know Terrence Smith made a lot of plays because he was giving great effort, and Terrence is a young man from the Atlanta, Georgia area that we have really been very impressed with how well he's played. And there's Zach Norman, I think, on the tackle, one of our senior leaders from Greenwood, South Carolina. There's Fatua Mua and Rashawn Harris both putting pressure on their quarterback, and they make a good throw, and they're moving the chains, unfortunately, now. We've regrouped a little bit, but they still are having some positive plays on offense.
On this drive, they've converted third down, they've converted fourth down, and then Kent Agby steps in front of a pass intended for Hightower for Urbana.
You know, Kent's really a guy that's sort of the quiet guy in the secondary, just makes plays and has been consistent for us this year. This is a great break on the ball. Good job of doing what he's supposed to do. Coach Scott has emphasized making plays in the secondary, who's our secondary coach, and just excited about what Kent was able to do here. And our defensive guys have stopped them in the red zone. And when you stop a team in the red zone in a close ball game, obviously that's something very positive to brag about.
Kent's first career interception. Bo Cordell comes right back, hit by Briscoe, number 20, as he delivers this pass, and it'll be picked off by Juan McKeever, who has a good return.
Again, we got to be a little smarter with the football, and number 7 there, I think, has got 5 or 6 interceptions on the year. But our defense takes the field, and, you know, we're giving the best effort that we can. Unfortunately, we got a bad break there with a face mask call, and that happened a few times throughout the day. Those are effort penalties. I'll never get on our kids for those things. It's just part of the game, and we got to regroup and go play. And it's one thing our defense has done all year is just find a way to regroup and go play and do our best to keep them out of the end zone. And I was hoping that might have been a fumble there, but unfortunately they put points on the board, and it's a 31-30 ball game.
They do miss the point after, so you do feel as if you probably have just a little bit of a break as you head into the fourth quarter with still having a lead, but we didn't see much of the offense in that third quarter.
You know, I don't think we had but like 50 yards in total offense in the second half up until the last drive. I know we didn't get a first down in the third quarter. I think we were 3 and out, and had an interception. We got to do a little better. You know, we continue to talk about that. We're putting up great numbers, and we're scoring points, but I still think we're better than we're playing on offense in a lot of phases.
Well, we'll take a look at that fourth quarter when we come back after this. Right now, the Pioneers lead by just 1, heading to the fourth when the Frankie DeBusk Show continues.
Greenville Federal Bank, proudly celebrating 50 years of service in Greenville and Greene County. Greenville Federal Bank is banking made easy. Visit online at greenvillefederalbank.com. Green Coach Charters and Tours has been proudly serving the traveling public for 65 years and is the official carrier of Tusculum College. If you have never traveled by Green Coach, may we invite you to join them for an exciting travel adventure. Visit online at greencoach.com. Anything you'll ever need to rent or buy is at Grand Rental Station. Business, commercial, or residential, from forklifts to backhoes to tents, party goods, wedding supplies, and much more. On the Andrew Johnson Highway in Greenville, Grand Rental Station, 639-6160. Consumer Credit Union. Loans? We can do that. 3 locations in Greenville and Mossheim. At Consumer Credit Union, everybody can join. Visit online at consumercreditunion.com.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton.
The Tusculum Pioneers have a 1-point lead as we go to the fourth quarter. fourth quarter brought to you by Sodexo.
What a quarter, too, Brian. We didn't play like we wanted to throughout the game, and in some phases they get the football right here and we don't get him on the ground, and he takes it for about 60, and got to do a little better job defensively. They had a good play call, but we didn't do our part, and got to get him on the ground.
Boise Moon does go for the touchdown. They would go for 2 and not be able to convert, and then really got scary once again. Had a chance to really put this game away in the fourth quarter itself, but I think the defense rose to the occasion, and Mendenhall did not have those big yards that we've actually thought he was going to be able to have, and really took advantage of their mistakes somewhat offensively. Now, they did make some plays and get in position, but right there's Mason Fowler, and he holds it up because if he gets by Fowler, he probably scores.
Yeah, it's some things that Mason's really good at doing his job. And here's Brian Alexander putting heat on their quarterback, making him throw an air ball there, and John Perry, a true freshman, on the coverage, and hold them to a field goal. And I'm sitting here thinking, if they do convert it, we still got a chance, and they have a high snap, and our kids do a great job. And Brian Alexander comes away with the interception, although he probably should have just put the ball on the ground there, and he was telling me he didn't want to turn it over, which was a good idea. And we take the field offensively, and there's number 20 once again, causing problems for us like he did all day long. And we're trying to get some points on the board. We're really reaching. We got a guy open there and just a little bit out of reach. And Brian, we just were a little off in a lot of phases on Saturday.
That was 3rd and 11. Here is 4th down and 11. I'll go back that last drive for Urbana. That was a fake punt attempt that I think if it's converted, it goes for big yards, but it doesn't. Gives them opportunity. They missed the field goal attempt by botching the snap, and then on this opportunity, after a 4th down 11 is no good, they come in and they miss a field goal. So it sets up some heroics here in the final minute and 15 as you get to football, and Deontay Gist has a huge catch, his biggest catch of the day.
No question. Great throw by Bo. Great protection up front. And our kids finally decided we weren't going to let number 20 cause any more problems for us, and I found a way to keep him from getting on the Bo, which was a great job of Spencer Riley and Caleb Slover, our 2 coaches that are responsible for pass protection. And Bo makes a good throw to Deontay, and it's a big gainer, and all of a sudden we got some life. We're down by 5. We got the football. We still have 1 timeout left. We've burned our other 2 trying to get the ball back, and I actually thought we'd scored here. I couldn't see Deontay from where I was standing, and I thought he had caught the pass, but unfortunately, we didn't, and we still got life. We're still moving the chains.
Cordell, 37 of 54 on the day, a new career best, 5 touchdowns thrown, but 3 interceptions, 417 yards for Cordell. And after a big play once again by Britt, Cordell shows us, he's not afraid to tuck it and run. And then right here, a very interesting play on 3rd down and a yard.
Great call by Mark Kolb, our offensive coordinator. He made that call solely on his own. Bo made a great decision and kept the football and converted. We get inside the 10-yard line, and Bo throws one of his bullets right there to Calvin Britt for a touchdown. See all the fans and all the cheerleaders and everybody that's a big part of our program getting excited and putting points on the board, and gives us a chance to take the lead late in the ball game.
You might have seen that play before. Michael Rodriguez with the catch, and right there, look, 4 defenders for Urbana around it. He threw it between 3 and threaded the needle into Calvin Britt. His 2nd touchdown receiving on the day. For Britt, he would have 119 yards receiving, but it's a career best 10 catches for him. Cordell spread the wealth around on the day. You would go for 2 coming up here in just a second and show that, but a Pioneer team that this is the last drive. There are 24 seconds left in this football game, and somehow you found a way.
Just fighting like crazy. We have a motto our kids came up with, won't be beat, and you hear us chanting it a lot. And that's what we were saying there on the last drive when the offense took the field. And our kids are buying into that and believing into that. And we didn't play as well as we wanted to play, but winning the football game is what it ultimately is. And no one's going to ask how when it's all said and done. And we just played very well there at the end on offense and did exactly what we had to do defensively to give ourselves a chance to win. And we're sitting here at 4-0 because our kids continued to fight all the way for 4 quarters.
There are plenty of guys who really had some big numbers on the day. Mason Fowler with the career best 11 tackles in the game. Brian Alexander finishing with 10 tackles, setting a school best with 5 tackles for loss in a football game with an interception. He just had a career day.